Takes Boogie Cousins for $5 million and all the tax money they're going to pay on that $5 million. Basically like their buyout acquisition. And you're going to watch that team play for a month and a half. You're not going to have any time to prepare for what it looks like, and then you have to adjust to it. Now, I remember Joe Lacob made a comment once, and everybody bristled, called them light years ahead of the rest of the league. At this point, I think that might have been an understatement of what it was that they were cooking up at the time. It was foreshadowing, and we didn't know it. And now in hindsight, I understand it. They had designs on things nobody had ever thought about doing in the NBA. And what they've done now is they said, what's our Achilles heel? What's the one way people think they can beat us? And this is it.
Be willing to do things others won't. Anthony Slater covers the Golden State Warriors for The Athletic. This had to be a shocker for you. Anthony, let's start with the fact that, the Warriors have drawn some enemies, some venom over the last couple of years as their greatness has gotten better, adding Kevin Durant. What do you think the hate level or the venom level will be now around the NBA?
It's high. Just look at Twitter tonight, right? I mean, and it is a bargain for them. It gives them 5 All-Stars, which is pretty ridiculous. 5 guys in their prime, which I believe I saw a stat. This is the first time team will have 5 All-Stars from the previous season since 1975-76 Celtics. So the gathering of talent is unbelievable, but the hate for the Warriors is it rises a little bit, but I'm not sure it could have risen from the top level. It was already kind of at.
The planning and the vision that this front office has, not ever being satisfied with what they have in their current stable, but it also took some help from Kevin Durant. Can you break down for us exactly what happened with Durant's contract that helped make this Boogie contract possible?
Yeah, so the Warriors are so far in the tax that they didn't know if they were going to use their taxpayer mid-level exception this offseason, which is $5.3 million, because it was going to cost them about $22 million just to use it, and they needed to find a player that was worth it. But the fact that Kevin Durant, instead of taking a 2+1 or his full max, which would have started his salary at $35-ish million per year next year, actually he could only start it at $30 now. That $5 million in savings is really about 21 or so in tax savings, and they can basically shuttle that over to Cousins and not feel that financial hit as much. So again, like he did last year when he gave a bunch of money back, let them get Iguodala and Livingston, he kind of did it again. This time I don't think it was as purposeful, but it saves the Warriors money, and it's another thing maybe the rest of the league is kind of not going to be too happy about.
Well, winning seems to be the cure-all, right? Guys come here and they conform to what the system is, but you're around this team on a daily basis. How does Cousins, with the reputation he has around the league, and how will others, with him putting up big numbers on the court and guys kind of balancing all out with who scores, who assists, who rebounds, how do you think this all gels together?
It's going to be very interesting, and the thing that people, just because the name of DeMarcus Cousins is kind of throttled people, a lot of people don't remember he's coming off an Achilles tear. He's probably not going to be ready till December and January. He's a 270-pound dude that has guard-type moves, twitching moves on the perimeter that it's going to be hard to play on a recovering Achilles tendon. So I don't know how good he's going to look, especially early on, knocking off some of that rust. He's never played with this much talent, because nobody really has ever played with this much talent. So he's a 25-point-per-game scorer in his career. What if he's only getting 13, and he's kind of more in the second unit, and then he's never played high-level playoff basketball? What about him in a Rockets series where maybe Houston's trying to isolate him, and maybe the Warriors, instead of having him on the court, want Andre Iguodala for defensive purposes? How does he handle that type of stuff? It's all going to be very interesting, but at the same time, they have not had an offensive talent in the center spot at all. They had 4 combined threes from their 6 centers last year. And DeMarcus Cousins had 124 himself last year in 48 games. So it's potentially unbelievable, the pick-and-roll options, all the different stuff they could do. But it's going to take time to gel, especially with him coming off the injury.
Are they done now in the Bay Area?
Or who done? Well, they still got 3 roster spots they're going to want to give. They really need wings. They only really got 3 wings because they're guard-heavy, and they still got the big man spot. And they don't have any money. They're basically just going to need to go bargain shopping for some veteran minimum wings. All
right, Anthony Slater from The Athletic breaking down how the Warriors were able to get DeMarcus Cousins to the Bay. Thanks so much, Anthony. Read his work on The Athletic. Much more to come on this edition of Free Agent Fever. What's the latest on the Kawhi Leonard rumors? Can the Lakers get him? What about a team in the Eastern Conference? Plus, Summer League is underway. We'll get you a matchup between the 4th pick and the 5th pick of the 2018 draft. Jaren Jackson goes up against Trae Young from Utah.